Oh, wall. Ooh, don't know where that came from. Okay. This is an entry. I always take notes, and I'm going to read it. It says, "My whole life I have kept a journal, as I found and still find this very therapeutic. I do, 100%. And this here, making these videos, is therapeutic also to me. It really helped me a lot when I realized my marriage was over. I read through my journals, actually, realizing my marriage started falling apart long before I thought it did. So that, in going back through all that, I was like reading it and I was like, wow, oh my God, this started way back, and it was shortly after my daughter was born. So I really was shocked when I read that. And I began to turn my journals into a book. And I'm continuing to do that. As I said, it's ongoing and probably will never get published. But I think it's another therapeutic step I'm past it. I'm over it. And looking back, it helps me how far I've come in all this. So I also, I began turning it into a book, like I said. I also began talking to both men and women who were unhappily married, getting divorced, or already divorced. And the most common thing they all felt was that the intimacy and communication had slowly faded and or stopped altogether. And sorry, my throat's very dry today. I don't know why. So that was like very common with men and women. And then I started a book about a woman that started to explore her sexual side, because I know in my marriage that I didn't realize how boring my sex life was. And so I really did explore after I got divorced. And actually, Frank was the first person that really opened my eyes to how wonderful it could be. Because I was always told when I would try lingerie or putting on porn or any of that stuff, that it was, I was a freak. So I thought, oh, maybe I am a freak. Oh my God. And, women really didn't talk about it. All I heard from my friends was that were married was complaining, like that all he wants is sex all the time. And I'm like, And there is one story, one of the first guys I ever met, he married his wife knowing she was bisexual. And he told me how he would dress in her lingerie and heels at her request. And I thought, oh. So, but I confided in my one friend, and she's like, listen, if I told my husband, if you dress in lingerie and heels, you're going to have sex, he'd probably trip over himself trying to get up the stairs. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, and it is every man's fantasy for two women. So this is a very small paragraph from the book that I started. So, this about a woman exploring her sexual side. So it is a little risque, just to warn you. He laid me on the bed, gently touching and kissing my body, holding my wrists together as he bit and licked me in different spots. I wanted him to please my whole body. I wanted him to push his tongue deep inside my naked pussy. I wanted him to lick the outside as he dragged his teeth on my pussy lips. I wanted to take his thumb and pointer finger and twist my nipples. I then wanted to have him take me and push me against the wall, blindfold me, grope me, undress me one piece at a time, leaving only my bra and panties on. And that's just one little paragraph. So, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I feel that some of us, we're raised that we shouldn't talk about sex. And I know that it was a taboo subject. And I know, being raised in a strict Catholic family, even though my parents were divorced, not so much my mom, but my grandmother, we lived with her. So you just didn't talk about it. My mother was semi-open with us. She said, she did explain, you don't have to wait till marriage, but make sure that you truly love him and he truly loves you. Make sure, oh, my hair is like sticking out here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I put it up today, people. But I think if two people are in a committed relationship, that it needs to be talked about. That you need to keep things fresh and exciting between the sheets or outside the sheets. So if you're talking about what your likes, dislikes, your fantasies, etc., with your partner, not only are you communicating, but you're also communicating about intimacy. And two of the main reasons that I seem to hear, or why a marriage falls apart, is that they either didn't really have sex before marriage, or they did, but then after the kids came and stuff, either he or she was too tired, or, oh my God. But I have a friend who, she's been with her husband since she was 15. And he has conventions. And her mom, God rest her soul, they had a mother-in-law suite in their house downstairs for their mom and for her mom. And they'd say, oh, she'd say her husband has a conference. And they'd go to a hotel, and maybe not far away. And they would have a weekend of exciting sex and, things that they maybe couldn't do in the house when the kids were around, because the kids, could walk in. And it actually, I'm reading this book right now, and You Never Knew. What You Never Knew. I think it's What You Never Knew. And I think Higgins is the author. And it's this one who, her husband decided he just wasn't happy. He just didn't want to be married. There was no one else. And she thought, and he kept saying, oh, he's not ready for kids, not ready for kids. And then he said he wasn't happy. And then he met someone else, married her, had a baby. So it just was, she realized he just didn't want to have kids with me. And then her sister has supposedly, on the outside, it looks like this perfect life, and has these triplets that she had to go through in vitro for, or fertility, whatever, I don't know, shots, and she talks about all this. And because of her husband. And then she's going to put his jacket in the dry cleaning bag, and his phone goes off. So she looks at it, and it's his private number, and she looks this picture and such, and says, do you like? And then she discovers later it's a crotch shot of some woman, and he's like, plays it off when she confronts him, like, what? I don't know. Why would someone send this to me? And he's like, you really think that I'm cheating? And then she surprises him one day for lunch, brings him lunch, and this one comes in. And I don't know, she says it in a way, this woman that works there too, he's an attorney, and she's like, hey, are you ready for a just the way I'm listening to it in Audible, so you can tell that she is. And she throws when she leaves, we're working on a case together, and she knew whatever kind of law this woman did, he did corporate law. And she's saying, so she's like, you liar, and throws his green tea at him. And then he comes home and he admits it. But it's over. Well, it's going to be over. He's going to end it. He loves his wife and his kids, and he doesn't want to lose them. And that brings me to something my therapist said. When we went both went to a marriage counselor, marriage therapist, whatever you want to call them, and he kept saying, I love my family. I don't want to lose my family. I love my family. And she said, not once have I heard you say, I love my wife. I don't want to lose her. And he goes, you get divorced, you're not going to lose your family unless you choose to lose your family. Ironically, he did choose to. So, because he has a new family. So, that to me is okay. And I love when they have this argument, because he's like, I didn't mean to. And she's like, you didn't mean to what? Slip your dick inside her? You just, and that's, there's another movie, I don't know what it is, that, it says, oh, what, did you slip and fall and your dick fell in her? So, she decides she's going to work on this marriage. He says it's over. They're going to go to marriage counseling. Sorry. I think my water reminder just came up. So I think that, I've said this before, you have to have a physical connection, a spiritual connection, an emotional connection, and you can be attracted, like the guy that had the teeny weeny. I was so attracted to him. He was such a gentleman. He was amazing, but sexually we did not connect at all because he wasn't good at it. And I was shocked. I really was. And I mean, he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. If he didn't have a teeny weeny, he'd be like the perfect guy. He wasn't, slender or anything. He was, stocky, I would say, describe him. And he really was great. But he just didn't know what to do. And I was shocked to find that he was married twice and fathered 3 children. And I'm like, the first woman that he married, she became pregnant. It was his high school sweetheart. And so, okay, I get that. She was inexperienced. I think actually she cheated on him. And the second wife was young, younger than him, and he had a great job and was a good provider. And I think that she saw this great guy who he was, and maybe she thought I could, you know, I could live with that. And he was a great kisser and kisser, but when it came to oral and it came to actual sex, nah, my friend said to me, you should tell him. And I was like, oh my God, that is the worst thing you can do to a guy, I think. And she's like, well, if no one tells him, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be the one. And thinking about it, it's like every woman probably thought that. I don't want to be the one that, you know, tells him that he's horrible in bed. Like I said, great kisser, could kiss him all day. And he needs to find a woman. And I don't know if there's women out there, even men, maybe. In my singles group, there was this woman, and she said they were together 6 months and they had sex like twice. I was like, what? And this other one said, oh yeah, you wait like 3 to 6 months. And I'm like, at our age? Really? And they're like, it's really not important to me, and I could care less if I ever have sex again. I'm like, and me and the other 2 women that were there were like, I don't feel that way. And they're like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. And because I'm thinking, oh my God, am I a freak? Like, but yeah. So, and there's quite a few that are just uninterested, very uninterested, and could care less. And it's weird to me. And maybe it's weird to them that I'm still interested. And I think it's some when they go through menopause. Some don't lose their drive, but they don't want to because they're dry down there. I don't have that issue. I don't know. Maybe all those years of lack of sex with my ex, it's all stored up. So I got years to go. I don't know. I really don't, but I'd love to hear if there's anyone out there that after they got divorced, I met a guy that got divorced because they didn't get along, but he goes, sex-wise, we were fabulous. Oh my God, we could go for hours. So I'm like, okay, so that's the complete opposite. So I'd love to hear feedback from people, like if that was fabulous, but you just, after a while, just couldn't stand them, didn't, whatever. Or if everything else was there and that just wasn't. But my ex just shut down. It was after his father died. Well, it was before his father died. It was after my daughter was born. But that's when I started to notice it. And he would love to just sit there and watch TV and then go to bed. And if we never, ever had sex again, I think he'd be happy. And I am curious, in his new marriage, if that's something so I guess I'm wondering, was it just me he didn't want to have sex with, or he just didn't want to have sex? So, I don't know. And he wasn't into oral. So, wonder if he is now. I don't know. But there are men that aren't, that I've found, and I'm like, sorry, dude, peace out. They want it, but they don't want to give. Sorry. Or some that aren't into it. I'm like, been there, done that in my marriage. Not gonna do it again. And guys that just can't perform. And maybe when I'm like 90, I know that sounds so shallow, but yeah. And, but I'm gonna, that is just one passage from my, like I said, from my book. And I'm gonna read it again. I kind of read it fast, but I'll read it a little slower this time to end the video. He laid me on the bed gently, touching and kissing my body, holding my wrists together as he bit and licked me in different spots. I wanted him to please my whole body. I wanted him to push his tongue deep inside my naked pussy. I wanted him to lick the inside as he dragged his teeth on my pussy lips. I wanted him to take his thumb and pointer finger and twist my nipples. I then wanted him to take me and push me against the wall, blindfold me, grope me, undress me one piece at a time, leaving only my bra and panties on. So, as you can see, I'm not comfortable still saying that. I am with someone that I'm with. I was very comfortable with Frank. Very comfortable with Mr. Amazing there. And I wanted to explore that side with them. There's been some guys that I'm like, okay, I want to. And some guys, everything else does it for me, but that, it's like I tried to avoid it, and it's weird to me. So I didn't connect with them on that level. So, but again, I'd love to hear your feedback. Please, anything, your thoughts on this. And I really do think you need to talk about your likes, your dislikes, your fantasies, not in and out of the bedroom. Like, do you like to cook? Do you not like to cook? Do you like to hike? Do you not like to hike? Do you like dogs? Do you not like dogs? Do you like cats? Not like cats? Any fantasies you might have. They might not be into fantasies. Are you okay with that? As long as you connect your likes and dislikes. Even, I think, on some level, I don't think religion is so important at this stage. Younger, yes, but at this stage of my life, not having kids, oh, excuse me, but someone that constantly says, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's any higher being. I don't, like, okay, but I respect that, but I don't need to hear it all the time. But you also have to respect me. But then, by the same token, I've had those people that say, oh, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's a God. I don't, I was shocked to hear from one of my friends, because I'm like, oh, please say a prayer for this. But I will, I'm praying. And I'm like, when I say it to my one, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. But my one friend having surgery, it's like, please say a prayer for me. I know you believe in that. It's like, but you don't believe in that. So do you really think that, like, you're contradicting yourself? So if you want me to pray for you because I believe in it, but you don't, so you shouldn't believe that those prayers. So somewhere in there you kind of do. You're kind of afraid at this point, because you're going in for major surgery, to not believe that something might happen. And if you don't believe and you don't pray, so I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah. So, as long as they respect what my beliefs. And I have a friend who her and her boyfriend are dating a long time, living together, excuse me, are not on the same page politically. And it works for them. I mean, they have little fights here and there, but overall they respect each other's views. And I just, that I don't know. If someone was so opposed to my political beliefs, that I don't know. There's two things I say: I don't discuss politics and religion. So when I was younger, yeah, when I met someone and he was Jewish and said if the woman he married would have to become Jewish, and I'm like, that ain't happening. I've always dreamed of raising my kids Catholic. So, but now at this point in my life, no kids involved. I really don't care. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. Unless, you're some weird, like you're almost like a cult-like religion that if I don't, join your religion, like we can't be together. Well, peace out. See ya. So, all right. But I'm actually in my office and no one is here today. So my bosses are off on vacation. They left for vacation, and the other guy in the office had a meeting. So, but yeah, like I'd really love to hear your feedback. And I do have a bunch of poems that I found, so I'm gonna try to print them and so I can read them for you guys. Alrighty, so I will talk to y'all later. Today's Wednesday, hump day. I won't be doing any humping, people. So, but I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.